this video we're going to try and find out why second gear in R380 gearboxes in Defenders and Discos and stuff like this can be particularly problematic, but there doesn't seem to be any solutions anywhere on the internet. I've bought some parts, some brand new parts. We're going to fit them and have an experimental morning. If you can cast your mind back a little way, when I had the Spanish 110, I put a rebuilt 300 TDI engine in, and a rebuilt R380 and a rebuilt transfer case. And I pulled the old stuff out and I was going to go through it again. However, the box that I rebuilt, an R380, had an annoying notch between second, first and second. All the rest of the gears were perfect, and even changing down from third to second was not a problem at all. But it had that, when you were shifting, it had that just that little click, and it wasn't grinding, it just had that nasty little click. It shouldn't be there. So anyway, I swapped the box. I rebuilt the original Spanish box, put that back in. There was no problem at all. So I don't know what the heck's going wrong with it, but I thought, seeing it was a quiet afternoon, I'd pull that R380 apart and have a look at it again. Now, we've done lots of R380 videos, and I was thought about showing you step by step, but you must be getting bored of them now, because I certainly am. I'm sick of spending hours on editing videos to do the same stuff. So I'm just going to show you, like they used to do on the football, the edited highlights, and here we go. Because down here we have the main shaft. This is the third gear, this is the bearing for the second gear, and here's the first gear. Now, how is this all put together? Well, it's magic really, but you've got a ring there, a brass ring, then you've got another ring that locates into there, and then you've got a synchro ring that goes into there. That's easy, isn't it? They're both are the same. Oh, so we think. Now, there was no crunching with first gear, but there was crunching with second gear. I stripped down this hub, and you can see how free and easy that moves. It's not sticking at all. Obviously there's no springs in it, because I'm just giving you a demonstration of how it should work. So this has foxed me. I can't find anything wrong with this at all. The rings I replaced was out of a kit. There's no wear on them, there's nothing on them at all. I can't understand. I just can't get over it. So what did I do? Well, it's thanks to you guys who's chipped in with subscriptions and Patreon money and stuff like this. I bit the bullet and I ordered from Ashcroft's a brand new second gear and a brand new synchro hub for first and second, just to get to the bottom of this. So let's get the box out and let's open it up. There's one good thing about Ashcroft's, apart from having lots of parts in and knowing about gearboxes. They don't have to get things shipped quickly because they're down in Luton, not far from the airport. So I ordered this on a Wednesday morning, and I got it last night, Friday night, at 5 o'clock. Not too bad. Mind you, I'm not exactly giving parts of it. Those gears are kind of expensive. Right. Get rid of that. Let's have a look. What's in the box? Angelos. Like Christmas, isn't it? We've got a box of some Ashcroft sausages there. We'll have that for my tea. We've got one box, some synchro rings, another box, and strangely enough, yeah, another box. So let's have a look in here. 101620, 1 pieces. It's not marked anything, it's 2020 10/16, that's its manufacturer's date. It doesn't say where it's made. It is the second gear. And what we're going to do is do some close-up work on this and have a look. This is like very well packed. Now before I put that out, let's put these things on a piece of paper. Now, one of the things we're looking for, and when we start to compare, is the teeth here. And I'll do some close-ups in a minute, but let's have a look at the rest of the stuff. So here's the synchro ring. Let's see this in here. So I ordered 2 outers and 2 inners. We're going to be comparing those. They look completely different to these ones here. There's a better finish, I can tell you that. But let's not get too excited. Come on, we've got to get these bloody boxes out for me. This is the synchro hub. Again, no country of manufacture on the box. And it's got the notch on there for signifying first. It feels lovely. It really does feel nice. That's all I thought I ordered. What's in here? Something light anyway. Maybe. Oh no! This is for another transmission. I was building up a LT230 which didn't have a hole in the gear, so one fix around that is to put a new an oil feed plate, and this is one from Ashcroft's. It's a used one, but it's a really good condition. They're about 25 quid, but how it works is we're interested in this. Now, how does my gear compare to a brand new one? They look identical. They look absolutely identical. You see the teeth on here? They should be shaped like little coffins, just like this, and it's not very often you see a brand new gear. So take a good look. There you go. There's no burrs or anything on that second gear. So that's nice. The synchro, it feels just nice. Now, just for you guys, I'm going to take this apart, but first of all I'm going to mark it up to make sure that this goes back in correctly, in the right way around. I don't think it's got a mark on it already, but I'm just going to get a little Dremel and cut a tiny mark on here. Baxon. Right, so I'll put a little cut mark here. It won't affect anything, but at least we know when we put this back together which way around it will go. And I've also marked where the spring is here with a little bit of a marker here, so when you turn it upside down the other centre point of the spring is there, so we won't get them mixed up. So we take that spring off, and then we'll put a synchro ring in here, turn it upside down, take the spring off here. Now, probably for the first time, you can see what a real synchro ring should look like. Alright, take a good close look. That's what it should be like. Everybody thinks when they see those little notches in here that the ring is worn. It isn't. It It isn't worn at all. Now let's compare it. This is the original one I took off. In fact, I tell you what, let me clean this one up a bit better. Right, back again. So, again, let's have a look. This is the old one, this is the new one. They look absolutely identical. The only difference with this one is, when you run your finger around here, there is a little tiny burr on the shaft. But the little spaces in between look identical. They look absolutely identical. I can't see much of a difference between the two. Spot the difference, isn't it? The outer edges should be the same. So the next thing is to look at is these rings. How do these compare? You can see the finish of the Ashcroft is a lot more polished. This is an aftermarket. I've got a feeling, I've got a sneak feeling these are Britpart ones. Different, very different. Notice the little cutouts here are bigger. Probably to get more oil around them. You see here? Because that's how they work. These act like a brake to slow the gear down while it's being engaged. A lot better. I like Ashcroft stuff. Let's have a look at one of the outer rings. What's the difference? Again, highly polished, better machining. The teeth look identical. Or do they? Are they a bit big on this one, a bit smaller on that one? We shall never know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble all this lot, this synchro, and we're going to try on here the new gear. We don't want that thing. But if it's just a matter of burrs and synchro rings, I haven't wasted all that much money. I'm going to put the new ones back in, obviously, seeing I've got them, to make a nice new gearbox. But what I've done is I've moved operations over to the vise so I can show you clearly how these things work. So your lay shaft's turning constantly these gears, and this is fixed to this shaft here. So that when you want to go into first, that's locked into first. So this gear here is locked to this shaft via this coupling here. Easy, eh? So when you want to change into second, this is a problem I am having with this. These are the new gears. So now this gear is locked to this shaft via this coupling. But that was one of the things I was on. When they're in line, they'll go great. But I'm sure they're alright. I mean, these are the new gears. This is a new gear, new hub, new synchro rings. And one thing I wanted to show you was, when a synchro's usually, when it's worn, you see the distance between the brass teeth and the steel teeth here. This is a one synchro I found in a box, but you can see the distance is negligible. Like you can see when I push a little tiny screwdriver in, it's getting open, whereas this one here, there's bags of room in here. When this brass ring almost touches this steel here, it's finished. It won't do its job, it's not working. So what I'll do now is I'll set up another test with the used gear here and the well, I should have said the original gear and all the other original parts, and let's see how that works. You see, that's locked in, that's great. Now we'll put this into neutral and see if we can spin this one. So where's the grinding? When I initially had a chat with Dave Ashcroft, he was saying it was something to do with the momentum of this gear being larger than this one, spinning around on the shaft. Well, to me, that doesn't make much of a sense at all, because the lay shaft drives this gear, which is driven by the input shaft. So your input shaft comes into here, transfers power down here, and along to these gears here. So they're all spinning at the same time. Can't be the mass of that one, because it'll affect them all. and it's not spinning round freely, if you see what I mean, not unless everything's in neutral. Could it be the burrs? Just making that a bit tight? So what's your thoughts? I can't think of anything else. I don't think it's the linkage, or it could be. But why would the linkage cause it to grind? And another thing, I was thinking about this last night when I was having a nifty Jameson's. A lot of these gearboxes, these R380s, were fitted into SD1s and lots of different cars in the 80s, like two-wheel drive cars. I can't recall them having really bad synchros. Now, if anybody can remember those days, put me right if I'm, but I can't remember that many gearboxes failing or being problematic. And they had V8s in front of these gearboxes, 3.9s and stuff, and 2.5s, 3.5, 3.9s, and even in 3.9s, yeah, that's right. Even in North America, they had a few 5-speed discoveries with these gearboxes. But the problem is, I'm thinking about with the two-wheel drive car, and why I didn't maybe hear so much as Land Rovers, maybe because I'm in this Land Rover bubble. That's all I hear about. So if you know anybody, please let me know if they had problems in the 80s with two-wheel drive cars with these LT gearboxes. Because you see, the theory I was thinking of was that could it be because these Defenders have got, and Discoveries and whatever, they've got so much backlash in the drivetrain that it's chattering all the gears when you're changing. It's like fighting back. Whereas a two-wheel drive car just had an axle and a prop shaft. That was it. But you think about Defenders, they've got shonky bloody axles all clonking away. They've got a shonky axle at the front with universal joints and things clonking away. And then to add insult to injury, they've got an LT230 transfer case, which is like an amplifier for clonks. Could it be that all that clonking is coming back through the drivetrain and making selection difficult? But why only on second gear? Ow. No, I was only joking. To me, that's perfect. That is absolutely perfect. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But what I'm going to do, I'm seeing I've bought the parts, I'm going to put them in this box. I'm going to try it with the new parts, but I'm going to keep the old parts in the new boxes, and then on my next rebuild I'm just going to buy all Ashcroft's synchro rings. That might be the problem. I don't know. It could be a combination of things, I don't know. But anyway, there we are, doing experiments using your donations. It's not going to waste, because we've all had this problem. Some gearboxes do, some gearboxes don't. Anyway, thanks very much for contributing. We'll see you in the next video.